So we just launched what we're calling V2 this week, which is super exciting. On my little portion here, I'll talk a little bit more about what the grander vision is for Dtravel. We'll talk a little bit more about where we are right now with our V2 launch and then what's coming up next. So first, on the vision, our long-term vision is that we're a community-owned and operated ecosystem for travel. But building a new ecosystem from scratch, it's a challenge that we're really excited and passionate about. And we've strategically decided to focus more on the supply side first by partnering with Hostaway, which is one of the industry's leading channel managers and PMS providers, so that ultimately Dtravel just works for our hosts and guests. So what is V2? We keep saying Dtravel V2. What does that mean? It's a Web3 booking channel for vacation rentals that directly connects hosts and guests. It enables guests to pay with crypto, save on fees, and all the reservations are powered by smart contracts. So that's kind of how we're able to keep the fees considerably lower than other booking channels. So why do we build V2? Cynthia, it's funny, mentioned the Hostaway founder, Marcus, who kind of highlighted recently an interview with over 150 hosts. We've done the same thing over the last few months. I think as a team, we've collectively spoken to over 100 professional leading hosts, owners, property managers. And really, we kind of noticed three main themes from all of that. One, hosts just pay more fees to centralized channels than they feel they should. I think if you're a host or if you host on any of the popular platforms out there, you probably have felt this too, just how much of a haircut they take. Second, there's a lack of control that hosts have over payouts, policies, relationships with guests, and much more. And then lastly, hosts just lack financial upside of the value that they actually provide to the ecosystem. But I think we've seen this recently. You know, one of the major OTAs and booking channels IPO'd last year. And if you were one of the lucky hosts that was able to get in, you got a little bit of it. But for the most part, the hosts that have helped build the platforms traditionally in the Web 2.0 products that have existed kind of lack that financial upside. So that's really where we honed our focus in. And V2 is starting to solve all three of those problems. And we have a lot more in store for the coming year. So let's talk a little bit more about who can use what we're calling V2 right now. So right now, like I mentioned before, we partnered with Hostaway, which is again one of the industry's leading channel managers and property management software providers or PMS providers. So anyone using Hostaway today is able to create Dtravel listings through their marketplace. Takes a few clicks. You don't have to recreate all of your listings on Dtravel. Again, a few clicks from the Hostaway marketplace and you're ready to go. So any host that has Hostaway is able to actually start listing on Dtravel and actually start to drive their own traffic to your Dtravel listing to take advantage of some of those benefits that I mentioned earlier. Longer term, or rather what we have coming up next, there's kind of three main things that we're focusing on for our roadmap. One, make it easier for hosts to list on Dtravel. So anyone can actually list on Dtravel. Eric will talk a little bit more about how we plan on doing that, but that's very top of mind for our roadmap. Second, making it easier for hosts to actually drive more traffic to their Dtravel listings. There's something we've been calling internally the merchant page, which is a place where all of your Dtravel listings will be in one place, one URL that you can share with your community to drive bookings to your Dtravel listings. And then lastly, making it easier for guests or travelers to find and actually book those Dtravel listings, as well as getting rewarded for doing so.